A beautiful famous 28-year-old actress and model was murdered, divided into parts and hidden in the refrigerator. February 25, 2023, Hong Kong, Abby Choi Tin-fung, a 28-year-old Chinese socialite and influencer residing in Hong Kong, was discovered dead on Monday. Choi was married to the son of the founder of Tamjae Yunnan Mixian after divorcing her ex-husband surnamed Kwong. The authorities found her dismembered body in a village house located on Ting Kok Road, Lung Mei Village, Taipo. The news has sent shockwaves throughout the city. She left behind 4 children. 2 of them belonged to her ex-husband Kwong, while the other son and daughter belonged to her present partner, the son of founder of Tamjae Yunnan Mixian, Tam Chuk Kwan. Despite the fact that they held a wedding ceremony on 9th December in 2016, the two did not register their marriage. However, her ex-husband's family was reported to argue with her over the property worth tens of millions of dollars before the tragic murder occurred. It was suspected that Choi and Tam were not registered. Hence, once Choi was killed, her properties would belong to the ex-husband. Choi hailed from a wealthy family and owned several properties, including Kadaori Hill in Ho Man Tin and Manhattan Hill in Lai Chi Kok, with a market value of $45 million. She had been a director of 4 companies in total, and her parents are also engaged in business in the mainland. It is estimated that she personally had a net worth of more than $100 million. At the age of 18, Choi entered into matrimony with her former husband and subsequently gave birth to 2 daughters, 8 and 10 years old. However, their marriage eventually dissolved, yet Choi continued to provide for her ex-husband's family, even purchasing a property in Kadaori Hill apartment for them to reside in, which she named her ex-husband's father as the owner. However, towards the end of last year, Choi expressed her intention to sell the property, sparking a dispute over ownership and related matters. There were concerns that the funds generated from the sale would be misused or squandered. Additionally, it came to light that Choi had remarried and had a child without completing the necessary registration. As a result, there were sinister plans to seize her considerable assets, with some individuals even plotting to murder her. The murder plot allegedly took place towards the end of last year. During this period, Choi made plans to sell the Kadaori Hill property, where her former husband's family resided, with the intent of retrieving a portion of the funds. Subsequently, she sought to arrange alternative accommodation for her ex-husband's family. However, the ex-husband's father, who is the proprietor, disputed the sale of the property, leading to a disagreement between the 2 parties. Choi's lawyer later informed her that, in the event that she could prove herself to be the purchaser of the property, she would still be eligible to receive the proceeds from the sale, despite not being the rightful owner. The suspects allegedly worked together to use knives to murder her before mutilating her body. Her ex-husband, who is the key suspect, is still on the run, while the parents and elderly brother, aged 31 to 65, who are currently in custody, will be charged with murder later. Choi, whose family is wealthy, has continued to financially support her ex-husband's family, even after their divorce. This support extended to hiring the ex-husband's brother as a private chauffeur. Choi was last seen at 2:15 p.m. and she was captured on CCTV footage at 12:29 p.m. at February 21 at Kadaori Hill apartment, Ho Man Tin. One of the suspects allegedly made arrangement for her to pick up her daughter from her school in Science Park in Taipo as an excuse. The CCTV footage captured her leaving her home and the ex-husband's brother, who was personal driver, who took her away in a 7-seater vehicle. She was reported to have passed out in the vehicle subsequently before being taken to Lung Mei Village. As her sudden disappearance was suspicious, her present family members reported to police for help. An investigation was launched, and suspicions were raised about the circumstances of her disappearance. The Kowloon Crime Squad took over the case and conducted a thorough examination of the victim's background. They interviewed a private driver, who claimed to have been the last person to see Choi alive, who happened to be her ex-husband's brother. As part of their investigation, the police also met with Choi's ex-husband's parents and attempted to locate the ex-husband himself. Upon further investigation, it was discovered that the victim had been involved in a significant financial dispute with her ex-husband's family. It was speculated that some of the individuals involved in this dispute were dissatisfied with Choi's management of properties worth tens of millions of Hong Kong dollars, which ultimately led to her murder. During the investigation, the ex-husband's parents and elder brother provided misleading information in an attempt to impede the inquiry. However, the police were able to decode and scrutinize these false reports, eventually leading them to uncover a newly rented village house unit in Lungmei Village, Taipo, belonging to the ex-husband's father. On the afternoon of February 24, detectives executed a warrant and forcibly entered the rented village house, where a gruesome discovery was made. Upon conducting a search of the premises, law enforcement officials uncovered human body parts that had been stored in the refrigerator. Left and right legs believed to belong to Choi were found in the refrigerator, but her head, torso, and hands were not found. Additionally, they found some personal belongings of the victim, such as her pink Hermes bag, ID cards, and credit cards. Based on the evidence at hand, authorities have concluded that the victim was the target of a homicide. Law enforcement officials and forensic experts commenced their investigation during the daylight hours and continued to gather evidence throughout yesterday night. Multiple items were secured in cardboard boxes and transported to the police station for further analysis. The residence in question, located in the village, had recently been rented by the ex-husband's father. Upon examination, the interior of the house was found to be sparsely furnished and contained unexpected items, including a meat slicer, chainsaw, gloves, and raincoat. Additionally, 2 pots containing soup mixed with human tissue were discovered within the property. Furthermore, minced human tissue was found scattered on the ground. A neighboring witness reported hearing a young woman and a man engaged in a heated argument in the middle of the night on Wednesday. The duration of the altercation was significant, although the witness was unable to discern the content of the dispute due to excessive noise. Another nearby resident indicated that the incident likely occurred on the ground floor of the village house. A white Toyota 7-seater vehicle was also observed parked outside the residence, with the location of the vehicle raising suspicion as villagers typically park their cars in the back lanes. It is plausible that the suspect parked the vehicle outside of the village house to facilitate the loading of dismembered body parts. In addition, Mr. Chan, the former head of Lungmei Village, disclosed that a 7-person vehicle had departed from the village house in question at approximately 3 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon, potentially implicating it in the case. Sources familiar with the matter have disclosed that the ex-husband's father departed from the police force in 2005, approximately 18 years ago, and held the rank of sergeant prior to his exit. He is believed to be the mastermind behind the gruesome crime. A photograph that is believed to depict Choi's ex-husband, identified as Alex Kwang Kong-chi, was reportedly circulated on social media platforms in the early morning hours of today. As a result, netizens have offered a combined bounty of HK$2 million to facilitate his apprehension. The elder brother of Alex Kwang, aged 31 years old, and his father, aged 65 years old, and his mother, aged 63 years old, were arrested for murder, and are now being detained for further inquiries. A meat slicer, an electric saw, and some clothing in suspected connection with the case were seized at scene. Post-mortem examinations will be conducted later to ascertain the cause of death of the deceased. Active investigation by the Regional Crime Unit of Kowloon West is underway. Police do not rule out the possibility that more arrests will be made. Anyone who witnessed the case or has any information to offer is urged to contact the investigating officers on 3661, 8281, or 9702, 9757. At present, the family members of the present partner of Choi are too distressed to speak about the incident.